Welcome to Cox OC Connection. I'm Lacy Kelly and this is Civic Connection, where we visit with civic leaders. Today we have Jeffrey Lalloway, who is not only the Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Irvine, but also the Chairman of the Great Park Board, which we are going to talk about in a minute. But first, welcome, Jeffrey.
Thanks, Lacy. Thanks so much for having me.
The first thing I wanted to mention, which you mentioned to me just before we started today, is that you have a 10-year-old daughter that looks as though she's following in Daddy's footsteps and getting involved in politics because she is president of her daycare and her name is Reagan. What do you make of that? Is she going to follow in your footsteps?
Well, she won her election today, so we're all very proud of her. So I have a President Reagan at home.
Nice.
So there's another President Reagan that's on the horizon.
And was her campaign very expensive?
I don't believe so, and I hope not. Not as expensive as those in Irvine, no.
Okay. Okay, well, before we get into some of my more substantial points, I just wanted to ask a couple of introductory questions. I know you've been on Cox before, but for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about Jeffrey. What do you do when you're not doing public policy?
Well, I'm an attorney. I've been a practicing lawyer for 24 years now. I'm originally from back east in Philadelphia, New Jersey. I have a beautiful wife named Laura and two little girls. One you referenced, Reagan, and the other is Sydney, who's 6. So I have a young family. I'm a practicing attorney, and I try to stay busy doing a lot of biking around Orange County.
Oh, nice. Do you mean bicycling?
Bicycling, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
oh, no wonder you're in such good shape. Okay, so you have the balance issue as well that a lot of our electeds have. How do you pull that off? Family, elected life?
It's a struggle, and I understand and empathize with all the electeds around here. It takes so much time to be effective and making certain that we do what's right for our communities. But my wife is great, and you know, it's a teamwork. It's teamwork with the city, but it's also teamwork with my family. And my wife is I couldn't do it without her. She's tremendously supportive, as is my whole family, and they're all great, and I couldn't do it without them.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of roles in this county. You're on the OCTA board. You're certainly engaged in our organization, but you also are very proud, and we are very proud of you, of the fact that you're a chairman of the Great Park Board. For those who may not know, can you just give us a snapshot? What is the Great Park?
Well, first of all, we're happy, the City of Irvine, to be a new member, relatively new member of the Association of California Cities.
Yes.
And under your leadership and others, it's a wonderful entity, and we're very proud to be new members. The Great Park is a long story, as most people know, which I won't get involved in, but it's been a long time since the voters approved Measure W. There's been a lot of work that's happened over the past 10 years or so to put us where we are today. I think there's going to be an audit that comes out early next week, which it's been about 6 or 8 months in the works, to determine exactly what has happened over the past 7 or 8 years. And as most people might know, there was kind of a change in ownership the City of Irvine last year, where even though it's a nonpartisan race, the Republicans in Irvine took back the majority from a long-standing group, and we've taken it in a very different direction. We've had a focus on more building infrastructure and amenities in the park so people can come out at any time of the day or night and enjoy what we have at the park, as opposed to what the focus might have been previously, was having more programming or parties, as some of my colleagues have called it, which costs a lot of money. And as any party that we've been to, you know, you have a great time on Saturday night, but Sunday morning you wake up and you just have to clean up. We want to make sure that Sunday morning you could have a great time at the park also. So there's been a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done. We're going to start soon on a design phase with 5 Point communities, which we'll talk more about in a second. But we're soon going to start on the 21st of January, beginning to understand what the design with our partners is going to be and the city's impact on that design. So it's a very, very exciting time. We're going to be building a lot more out there for all of Orange County to enjoy.
What exists out there now?
There's a big orange balloon, as
we know about that.
Some people have seen before. There's also, we opened recently a new visitor center, and we dedicated it in December, which is a beautiful new visitor center. We also have 4 new soccer fields. My daughter's AYSO team has already played out there, so they're beautiful. They're all lighted, 2 of which are artificial turf, which is a joy to play on, frankly. We also have a big green field, which we can divide into different kinds of fields if necessary. There's a palm court, which has an artist in residence area where we bring in artists to do art, different forms of art, which is very exciting, and also a mini art gallery, if you will, that has a new showing every few months or so. We also have a hangar 244 we call it, which we have events, and we have a lot of events out there still, so we're not without doing any events, but that's generally what's out there now. And over the next 5 years, we engaged in we're going to be building a lot out there with our developer partner, 5 Point Communities.
Okay, excellent. Well, I do know that part of the concept is that this is more than Irvine's park, it's Orange County's park. How are you guys going to embark upon getting the Orange County community at large to come out and enjoy the property, enjoy the park?
Well, that's a great question. We want to make sure that it is Orange County's park and not just Irvine. Irvine is responsible for the development of the park, and so we have to make sure that it runs within the city of Irvine and runs well. And we do parks well. Irvine's parks are some of the finest in the country. Irvine will still be responsible for operating and maintaining the park with some help from 5 Point. But we want to make sure to get input from all of the community and all of Orange County. So when we begin at the Great Park Board to have these hearings on the design, we want to make sure that we reach out to all of Orange County, from our northernmost friends to Southern County, so it's a great place for everyone to enjoy.
Sure. One of the things that happened to you guys, and that happened to every city that had a redevelopment agency, was those were eliminated by our state. And a stunning amount of money, over $1 billion, was lost to the Great Park in that single action. What will you do to help replace those funds or develop partnerships to try to do what you originally envisioned you wanted to do with that money?
Well, we lost about $1.4 billion in local tax revenue, local property tax revenue, that would have stayed at the Great Park to develop it over the next 30 years. So that is a big, big number and a big loss to the city of Irvine. And that was the concept of how it would have been developed before. We have a few choices, and some of them are working with public-private partnerships, which is what we've done, but we're going to do a whole lot more of it. We have a lot of land, 1,300 acres of land or so we want to see some other private entities come out and be partners with the city of Irvine. We also have developed you may have read about it, we had a few long council meetings, but in those council meetings we worked out a wonderful deal for the city of Irvine that we're going to, in exchange for our developer partner, Great Park Neighborhoods, 5 Point Communities, in return for giving up some commercial entitlement, they're going to be doing some residential, and in return they're going to give us about $215 million in infrastructure for building the park, building roads, providing some operations and maintenance dollars. It's a wonderful deal for the city of Irvine. So these design Great Park Board meetings that we're going to be having will be in conjunction with them to get understanding of exactly what the design is going to look like finally. Again, it's an exciting time to be out there. This design phase won't be long, and because we have probably 80% of it complete, and after that time we're going to know exactly what we're going to be doing.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So 5 Points really is helping you fill that gap.
5 Point's a wonderful partner for the city. They already have entitlement. They've been starting to build homes, and they're selling like hotcakes. They're wonderful. I've been out there. Unfortunately, my wife wants us to move out there, so I got to keep her away from there.
Okay. Well, tell us why you think that this park is good for Orange County at large.
Well, it's going to be the largest park in, I believe, California. One of the largest in the country. Mm-hmm. It's probably around double the size of Disneyland. It is a gigantic space.
Wow.
And so the first phase of development is what we're describing now, which is mostly the sports park, which are going to consist of about 24 soccer fields, believe it or not, 24 soccer fields. Tennis courts, 15 tennis courts, a soccer stadium, a tennis stadium, a heavily wooded area, bosque with trails and an amphitheater and a dog park. There's going to be a mini canyon up there for people to enjoy. It's going to be a wonderful place. it's only part of what we're doing. It's kick-starting the park and the development and building the infrastructure. The roads are going to be completed. So once that part is complete, the sports park, we'll work on other areas, which mostly consist of the cultural terrace, which is an area we're going to have museums, and we're going to have different types of places you can come and enjoy that are more cultural, if you will, than just play areas that we have right now. So it's going to be an area for all of Orange County, if not all of California. Right now we just had a Cirque du Soleil out there, which is a wonderful show. So that pulls people from as far south as San Diego to come here and enjoy the show. So we're hopeful that Orange County and Southern California will be able to enjoy the great park.
Nice. Well, I know we spent some time on that, but I think that's something that people want to know about. That's exciting. Sounds like it's going to be a really great place to spend a lot of time. So the Wall Street Journal just recently named Irvine one of the best managed city in the nation. Was that correct? The best
Number
managed
one,
city?
we are the best run city in the entire
That's phenomenal.
United States.
That's
yes.
phenomenal. How did you accomplish this phenomenal achievement?
Well, I didn't accomplish anything, but thank you for saying that.
You meaning all of you? Yeah.
It's, we have wonderful people that live in Irvine. Our residents are the finest in the country, and I've lived in different places. It is purely a testament to who we have that lives in our city. We have the infrastructure. We have a great city staff. We have wonderful infrastructure. Our developers, the Irvine Company historically, and Donald Bren have done an amazing job building our city out, and now 5 Point communities, and we all have a stake here. Our schools, our police, we're the safest city in America for 8 years in a row. There's a lot of things to be proud of and a lot of reasons that people want to move here, and because they want to move here, we have such wonderful people, which creates a great city. So it's all of us pulling together in the same direction, which allows Irvine to be the best run city in all of the United States. We're very proud of that.
Congratulations, that's
Thank you.
phenomenal. I'm glad you're here in Orange County, so I get to work with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if this is a controversial question, but what about re-election? Are you going to run again?
Thanks for asking me that question, that hard question. I really enjoy helping my community and working for these important issues, with OCTA. I work there on roads and transportation and buses. I'm on the Fire Authority Board of Directors and making sure that that area is taken care of, and public safety is really important. I love working in my community. I love doing it. It takes a lot of time. It's a major commitment on the part of my family as we talk about the balance. So I need to sit down and have that discussion with my wife, which I'll do shortly, and making sure that all of my family, including President Reagan, are on board with this. But once I make that decision, I'll go full throttle either way. But I need to make a reasoned decision about whether to run for office. I love doing it. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful community to represent. But it's not a decision to be made lightly, and I want to make it in the right way.
Absolutely. Well, we enjoy working with you. We hope that you make a positive decision there, but mostly the best decision for you and your family. So
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for spending time with us today. It was great to learn a lot more about the great park, and I look forward to working with you in the coming year. And I want to thank you all for joining us for Cox OC Connection. That's it. We'll see you next time.